Tonight, I'm going to show you how to make a flat felled seam. The directions are on your Google Classroom. And this is another seam finish. So last time we did the French seam. Tonight, we're going to do the flat felled, and this one's a little bit harder, but I think you'll be fine. To start off, you're going to put 2 of your 3x6 inch samples wrong sides together again. Same way we did it last time. I've got them pinned, and I'm going to sew a 5/8 inch seam. Now, you want to make sure this is not narrower than 5/8 of an inch. Because if it is, it's going to make the next step really, really hard. Okay, we're going to take it to the iron. Next, you are going to press it open. So, set my stitches. I usually press it over with my fingers and then iron down. And then you're going to press them both to the one side or the other. Doesn't matter which. Okay. Next step, you are going to trim. So now you've got one seam allowance that's on top and one seam allowance that's on bottom. You're going to take the bottom seam allowance and trim it to 1/8 of an inch. I don't ever measure this. I just kind of guesstimate that it's got to be pretty narrow. Okay. Next step says for you to trim the top seam allowance to 1/2 inch. I think it's going to be easier for you if you just totally skip that step. So we're going to skip step number 5. You could do it if you trimmed it, but this will make it easier. Then step 6 says turn under the top seam allowance 1/2 the width. So you're going to want to zoom in on this. And this part's probably the most difficult, but you're going to push that seam or the raw edge all the way to the seam and fold it under and then press. So you've got the iron close to your fingers, so be careful. And you want it to stay down pretty good. I'm going to steam it. Okay, so now I can't see the raw edge because it's folded under. And then we're going to take it back to the machine. On a Bernina, I like it because you can move the needle with this button right here. On the Brother machines, there's a knob right here that you move the needle. I'm going to line the edge of my fold with the middle of my presser foot, but I'm going to move my needle probably 2 spots to the left, and that way it's going to sew on that seam allowance really narrowly. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but you've got a nice finished edge that you see on this will be the outside of your pants, and this will be the inside. So it's another nice, neat seam allowance. Trim your loose threads, staple it to your flat felled seam, top 2 right here where I can see the right side so I can flip it up, and that's flat felled seam.